Hello, and welcome to another update video about Compound. Today I had a lot of requests for COMP, Compound, so we take a look at the chart. We have an ABC top into 2021 and a beautiful 5-wave move to the downside. And so far it looks like we are in a wave 2. Alternatively, there's an alternative here in which I count the wave 2 is unfolding, but the subdivisions would need to move a little bit, okay? And then I would consider this an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. I nearly find this more likely. Given the strength of the move to the upside, it looks like a typical C wave to the upside within wave 2. Maybe, I'm just thinking about it, I'm going to change it to that, because this is, you can count it like this as well. So these are the two options, both bearish. In this scenario, this would explain the, let's say, interest, the spike in sentiment quite a bit, because then you can count this easily as an A wave and B wave as a flat, basically, and a C wave. So the wave 2 is a flat pattern, a so-called, well, possibly expanded flat it's going to be, in which the C wave is going to end higher than the A wave. This is actually quite a nice 5-wave down chart where we can count 5 waves of the high. Actually, then if I count it like that, it would probably be a leading diagonal, this wave 1. But actually, not really. It could be an impulse, but that doesn't really matter now. What is important is to establish where that wave 2 could end. This is the challenge here. So this is the challenge. We are obviously in a short-term uptrend. We have a huge resistance area that is just what it is on the crypto chart. So we need to pay attention to the Fib levels at $101, $155, $236, and $432. Looking at Fibonacci extensions, we can calculate that target maybe with a little bit more detail. And here is where the problem now starts, because these are the standard retracements where a wave 2 should land. Maybe I'm going to make that actually in red to indicate this is actually resistance and retracements. So, but obviously we can, using the Fibonacci extensions, calculate targets a little bit more clearly. Now, the very first, the absolute first level that is sort of relevant here is already reached, the 100% extension at $63. That's probably why we have a little bit of a setback here. But I have no indication it has stopped the rally. So naturally, we would expect at this stage a little higher. And the next target would be the $100 level, which is the 38.2 retracement. I would expect some significant resistance there. And then just above that, we've got the 1.618 extension. They can always go higher. The bottom line here is, as long as I only have a 3-wave structure, this can potentially crash down in a 3rd wave eventually. But the real challenge here is about this chart. This can extend all the way up to $432. But I would expect a first, let me just think. Yeah, I would expect a first reaction in this region between now and $117, the 1.618 extension. And then we will get a decision, because obviously, as you can see, the wave 2 can easily go higher depending on what Bitcoin is doing, right? Let's say Bitcoin is starting now the 3rd wave rally at some point, then COMP could easily stretch to 432, okay? Which would be significant, but it would still be within a chart that made a new lifetime downtrend, okay? So it's a lifetime downtrend, this chart. And to ever get back into really a bullish structure, it needs to show us 5 waves up. And of this structure, it can really do that if it forms here a solid 5-wave move, which doesn't look like it's going to do that, okay? So we can track that, but at the moment this looks like a nice 3-wave structure. And if we talk about an extension to the upside, this could easily become an A wave, then a B wave, and then a C wave. Do you know what I mean? If this extends higher, we're likely going to see this, an extension where the first ABC that we're tracking will become a larger A wave, then a B wave down, and a C wave up. So this is how it could extend higher. It's way too early to say where it's going to land. And that's the problem with it, with a setup like that. It's a typical setup where people get burned. The hype is running, yeah. And again, there will be something that triggered it. And the short-term trend is up. But what I can highlight here is the level of risk, or like, let's say the potential even. And that's all the way up to 432. Gives you a huge area where it could land. So you need to pay close attention to the relevant levels that are called out here. Only above 432, this will become potentially more bullish. And it needs to provide a 5-wave structure to the upside. So yeah, unfortunately, it didn't start well. I often say it's wise to stay away from charts that started their life with an ABC top and a 5-wave move to the downside, because it is a lot of work required to make it look long-term structurally based on Elliott wave, yeah, to give us a solid long-term setup, something reliable. I mean, at the moment, we are rallying into short-term resistance anyway between $64 and 71. Yeah? So this is short-term resistance. I would say if we get above this region, I'm going to highlight that on the chart. Here, yeah, if we get above this resistance, I guess we get into the $100 region first. Yeah, and then we're looking at the fips that are highlighted. Looking at the short term, I mean, messy, okay? Messy. Looks very choppy. So I don't, you know, this again, this could be a small, this could be a wave 1-2 leading diagonal here, 3. So, or probably would have to be, but this is micro counting. I mean, on a chart like that, ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got a leading diagonal 1, 2, then another 1, 2 setup. This needs to be 2, 3, maybe like this, yeah. But this is just micro counting. I wouldn't attempt this here on a choppy chart like that. Yeah, because then the third wave itself would be a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this could sort of roughly work out. A good guide that you can use to understand, okay, is price coming down or are we going to push higher? Well, you can just use a trend line. That's one thing. Just add a trend line to the chart. Or, that's the other thing, you can use as a guide, a rough guide, the 50% retracement. If the 50% retracement level breaks, which is here at $39, then the whole thing is probably going to collapse down because then it retraces too much. Yeah, that's my update about COMP. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.